Okay, so we walked through some of the cookbook steps quickly in the last short video, and I want to do a quick problem with a Class B address, giving away some of the answers already, where we run a custom subnet. I'm going to choose an address 160.0.0.0, and I'm going to state that I'd like that broken up into 50 subnets. 50 subnets. Again, let's walk through and answer some of the questions. So, my class of address is a Class B. The default subnet mask is a /16, or the first 16 bits are utilized, 255.255.0.0. So all the action for subnetting is going to occur from that default mask in borrowing bits to the right of the default mask. The question of how many bits to borrow, well, how many subnets do I need? 2 raised to what power minus 2 is greater than or equal to 50. Well, that would be 2 raised to the 6th power, which is 64, minus 2 we're throwing out first and last. You may or may not do that, equals 62. So plenty of coverage, plenty of coverage. That means from the default mask 255.255.0.0, I've borrowed an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, leaving 2 bits in the 3rd octet and all 8 bits, my shorthand for all 8 bits, in the last octet remaining. This means that the number of hosts per net, 2 to the 10th minus 2, or 1022. We have this balance. If I go back and look at my numbers as to how they add up to 32, my default mask was 16 bits. My bits borrowed for my custom subnet mask was an additional 6 bits, leaving 10 bits left over for the host, always in IP version 4 for a total of 32. Now my value of the custom mask is simply the value of these bits totaled up. Some shortcuts, 4 ones, 4 zeros is 240. Some folks take the entire string 255 if it's all ones, subtract 1, subtract 2 for a value of 252.0. This would make it a /22 for those who like to use that shortcut. The real tough question becomes, what is our starting net ID? Now again, some folks that start with the 0 net, that's okay with me. I like to look at this value of the least significant bit borrowed. Its value is 4, which means that in the 3rd octet, 160.0.4.0 is a net ID. Step 6, the increment to the next net, 160.0.8.0. The increment of 4 to the next net ID, 160.0.12.0. And we continue to 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, etc., etc., etc. Now, all's left is step 7, fill in the usable hosts, everything in between, 4.1, the first usable IP, that's not the net ID, to 1 short of 8.0, 7.255, which is the broadcast for the first subnet, 7.254 being the last usable host. The next net, 8.1 through 11.254, with 11.255 being the broadcast for that subnet. The next one would be 12.1 to just short of the next increment of 16 4 up, 15.255, 15.254 being the last usable host. And that's how we get 1,022 usable hosts. So we've taken a B, we've gone through each step. Again, always identify the class IP, always look at the default mask and work from there. How many bits to borrow? What balance does that leave us? What is the generation of the custom mask? What is the important piece, value of the least significant bit borrowed? That tells us a lot of information.